Okay, so before I restart the game, I have a disclaimer, which is I've played the game before, probably like 4 or 5 times, so this won't be a reaction to the game as so much as a commentary on the game as I play it because I really want to replay it, so might as well make something out of it instead of just playing it randomly. Oh my god, there's a bug. Hold on. Okay, bug is dead. Um, where was I? So this will be more of a commentary than. Oh, I'm so scared now. It'll be more of a commentary than a reaction, and I'll probably end up spoiling things as I talk. Um, so if you want to fully react to the game without knowing anything in advance, just play the game yourself. I won't edit anything out. This is just going to be me playing the game, but if you care about spoilers, play the game. Don't watch this because I know everything that happens. Okay. New game. Yes. Okay. So the only controls in this game is walking, looking around, and zoom. There is no run feature. Also, I think this game is so pretty. I'm in love with this game. The visuals. And the audio design, or the sound design, is so nice. But might as well get into it. So, and the controls are a little janky, but the game makes up for it.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
I love all the doodles in this game. Like, the character Edith, I love the style that she draws in.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Also, built-in subtitles is something that should be more common. I think it looks so cool.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Oh wow. It does bother me that it's a little pixelated, but we don't talk about that because we can still read it, most of it. I blame it. My in-game logic is that it's so old because you'll find out that he went missing very many years ago. So it's just
lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
It's just an old poster. I wonder if you can see. Okay, yeah, you can see a lot of things from up here. Like, there's not much that's just faded out that is that doesn't matter, you know?
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
It's so cute. I want a mailbox like this. But I also do not want to own a house.
My brother Lewis's funeral.
So she has 2 brothers, Lewis and Milton. Is it mean to say had 2 brothers? I feel like it is.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
I do have to say, her holding up the key in time is
maybe she
clever
thought
but very funny.
Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I'm gonna go up this road, but you get more dialogue options if you go all the way around, which is a little annoying, but you also get an achievement that I already have, but it's fine.
I want to hadn't driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Oh my god, a deer.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Fun fact, if you go the other route, the subtitles aren't really built into the scenery, so I think what you're meant to do is go down the high road and then travel up this road to get all the dialogue options.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something but never do.
And then we're pretty much back where am I? Then we're pretty much back where we began. Or close enough where I'm not going to go all the way back to the beginning. I know I keep saying this, but I love the scenery. And there's something about it being a little janky that I love. Like, it feels human. Not just like the scenery and the
house
set
was
design,
exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
but just like even the way it feels like a person wrote this and made this.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
But also, like, real? Not real. It's obviously not real, as you'll see. But, I don't know, it's just very well done.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Actually, I never did the math for this. If she's 17, that means it's 2016, right? Thereabout? 2016, 2017? Okay. I think that's when the game came out, so I'm going to assume that that's correct.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Yeah, there's so many just items throughout the house. It's crazy. I cannot imagine designing that many, like, assets. Is that the word? I don't know. So many items for the game.
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
Foreshadowing, kind of. It's really sad looking for one of the future, so whenever I say level, I'm talking about a different family member. So for one of the levels, it's very well done, the way that if you don't know the rest of the game, that's just like a swing. But once you get to that level, it gets like really depressing. This is a really depressing game, and there's a lot of death. Also, I do know where
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I do know where practically every dialogue option is, so I'm trying to hit all of those.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Just because I feel like I love the voice acting so much that I actually want to use all of it and not leave anything just like, oh, well, you know, it's not mandatory to get that dialogue option because they're all important. You'll see what these are for. But there is like a plot hole that I won't like dive too deep into, but when it comes up, I'll discuss it.
Years, I felt like I was home.
Oh, I never noticed the Finch plates. The Finch plates.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
I think the artwork's very neat because there's such a difference between how Edith draws stuff and how the photographs look. Like, the photographs are almost a little uncanny. The way that it's almost looks like photography, but not quite. I think it plays very well, but it is a little unnerving. Lewis. Beloved brother to Edith, who I am. Son of Dawn, who is she. And great-grandson of Edie. Yeah, so also Edie's full name is Edith, so sometimes we're referred to her as Edith, sometimes Edie, so they're the same person. We're Edith Jr.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
I really want to try this apple pie recipe. I think it'd be really funny. Also, actually, I don't know how to bake a pie, so I don't know if it sounds good, but I feel like it might sound good.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Sorry, I'm startled because I didn't click the right button, but it still played. So I think I found an Easter egg, and by Easter egg I mean a control that they do not explain. Ever. That's like another janky thing about it, is they don't ever really explain how you play the game. You kind of hope.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
What is that? What are those sounds? They're horrible. I know how this game runs and I'm like getting nervous.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
It's so sad.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
The Nordic Cookbook. Okay. Of course, that's the one that I want to read, is the upside down ones. Nope, I'm not doing it.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
I love all the little finches. Oh.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Oh.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
I don't know if that music is sweet or absolutely terrifying. You know, a lot of these items on the walls are references to different family members. And the cool thing is I don't think you come back to this room all that much
Even
after.
the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
I hate that I know the dialogue. But a lot of the items throughout here, even if you haven't played the story yet, or even if you won't see them again even if you won't see them again after you play the story, there's a ton of references to future things that you'll see. Like that swing set, The one that I said was really depressing and creepy before, once you play another character's level. It's really cool.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
That's a little dramatic. It's wine, not blood. Also, I've seen these before. Is it, like, normal to have a window in your room?
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
I think I've explored everything on the downstairs level. Oh gosh, this is, like, really sad.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Yeah. I enjoy this because it also, like, directs you to where you're supposed to go, quote unquote.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Which is so strange. This is one of the spoiler moments. Edie paints the portraits of people after they die. So it's like, why was she painting Edith's portrait?
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Hideous. I hate carpet in the bathroom. It's so bad. It's so scary. Also, you may notice names on all the doors. Oh, I hated that. I hated that. 11, 1. I don't do math, so however old he was. Okay, please stop creaking. I know there's nothing coming for me, but I am still so fearful.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Okay, this is like a very complicated family tree, so, and this is the family tree. So I'll keep popping this open every once in a while, just in case you forget where the family is. So Odin married Ingeborg, and they had Edie, who married Sven, and Edie and Sven had Walter, Sam, Calvin, Barbara, and Molly. Sam married Kay and had Gregory, Gus, and Dawn. Dawn married Sanjay and had Lewis, Milton, and Edith. I hope you memorized that, because I'll never open it again, despite what I just said. This is so funny.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Oh, they reused a photo. I mean, it makes sense. They have a ton. Like, I'm sure there's about 20 of each book. But, I'm surprised they used such a notable one. That's so cool. I never noticed that you can see the, spoiler alert, secret passageways through this.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
I'll do this first.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Those mutton chops are crazy. Everyone says that, but they really are just so intense. But see how that one looks more like a photograph than the other one? Oh, gosh. Nightmarish. Also references to the future, but mostly nightmarish.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
10 years old.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
I hate the scrapes on the floor. That's another thing that I love this
I think
game.
my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Ooh, where's the... Oh, there we go. I think I love this game so much, and I watch other people play it, but then as soon as I pick it up, I'm like, oh, right, this is a little
Lewis
creepy.
told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
It's a little unnerving, because it feels like something bad is about to get you at all times, which is very cleverly done considering what happens in this game. Not in a scary way, but...
My mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Just in a... Bad things
Now
happen.
it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Okay, I don't have siblings, but wouldn't this kind of be horrible? Like, having to have a doorway to your brother's room just in the middle of your room, you can't lock it. Like, I feel like that would suck.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
I need to, like, point out all the animals once we play her minigame. Spoiler, almost every carrot level has, like, a mini game, I guess you can call it. Oh. Molly was one weird kid. Like a very scary child.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
When did Sven die? Oh, it doesn't say. Okay, but it couldn't have been before 1952. So she just was prophetic.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Dear Diary.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Also, the way the subtitles handwritings change with who's talking, or who's writing or telling the story or whatever.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
I like the... Ugh. Yuck. Oh no, I forgot about... Oh.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
I know there's a way to control Christopher, but I cannot remember how, so it's just, like I said, a little janky. Maybe I can see. Nope, it's way worse. Oh, yeah. When you look into the light, your eyes have to adjust to the darkness again. So you're just wandering into pitch black for a bit. It's bad.
I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night.
Fun fact. Holly berries are poisonous.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
I'm not
It was a
telling you
barn
that.
swallow going back to her nest.
I'm definitely not telling you that they're poisonous for a reason.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Yeah, she's a cat now.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Okay, maybe they're not the best at human models either. Also, it's so cool because you'll see their room later on once they've built out the house more. Or I guess, what, about 70 years later? And it's, I never noticed that, but they really, it's cool to see how their room changed. And like, it's just the small details like that that I really love about this game. Where are we? Where? Oh, there we go. Oh, secret dialogue option.
The babies were all gone.
Also, the symbolism in this, her mom sent her to bed without dinner, and suddenly she wants to eat the mama bird. And then also, I mean, you saw the family tree. All of the siblings die. All the babies are gone. The mama bird is the only one left, you know. It's not subtle. It's both, like, Molly's subconscious and also prophetic in a way.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Where did it go? Come here. Oh, nope. That was... Okay. Can't walk backwards.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Come here.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Ugh.
First, all I heard
dizzying.
was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
I don't know. Come here.
Rabbits.
Okay. There's an achievement if you... Oh! Glitch rabbit. Glitch rabbit. Oh yeah, trigger warning.
I imagined his
Brutal
face
death.
looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
This doesn't look like Washington as much, at least not what I thought Washington looked like.
A mama rabbit.
So obviously the first one took place... Oh, again, glitched rabbit. Gonna get that achievement.
She was almost too big to carry.
Oh,
I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
this is by far the funniest moment in the game. This is not a super funny game, but this is so funny to me. Come on.
rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Okay. Come here. Ugh. Again,
I wanted
blood.
fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Oh, there we go. This is the quickest I've ever done Molly's level.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
What do you do with the drunken sailor? What do you do with the drunken sailor? What do you do with the drunken sailor?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Yeah. The sounds are repulsive. I'm so happy we can't eat the bird. As if the rest of the game isn't, like, doing that, but, you know. It makes me sad.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Come here. The ragdoll physics. I don't know if that's actually the term. I don't know how to do like video games. Or like make video games. Or play them, to be honest. But
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Sailor, what would you do with a drunken sailor? What would you do with a drunken sailor?
His belly with a rusty razor, his belly with a rusty razor, his belly with a rusty razor, and no more. What shall we do with a drunken
There's an achievement if you let him finish his song.
drunken sailor, what shall we do with a drunken sailor?
I'm debating taking it. Nope, I'm not. I don't know how many more verses there are, and I'm not dealing with that. I guess I will not be getting all achievements. Why did I sound like Stewie? There's a lot of things I'll point out in Molly's room once we finish, because there's a lot of like precursors that she's a violent child.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I saw something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Oop, sorry that my webcam is blocking some of the dialogue.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Have any of you seen Flushed Away? It's kind of like that. No. I don't know. Wait, this is a bad thing. This is... I think I almost broke the game. TBH. You're not supposed to be able to go back down. I genuinely thought I was gonna have to restart.
I got closer and closer. All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Well,
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
all the things I wanted to point out. So, first of all, she, like, dissects things, you know, it's a little bit of a creepy, not creepy hobby, morbid hobby, especially for, a 10-year-old girl. But we also have sharks and seals and sea monsters, you know, not actually monsters, but to a kid, I feel like they probably seem like monsters. Cat ears. She starts off as a cat. This is interesting because this is a spoiler for something that comes up, like, I think in a few minutes. So Sven is her dad, and he died building a dragon-shaped slide. I know there's nothing there, and it still freaks me out. He died building a dragon-shaped slide. So I just think it's interesting that she's showing her dad getting eaten by, like, a dragon way before that ever happened. You know, whatever. But anyway, owl mask, bunny mask, cat mask, owl, shark.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Octopus bunny. You can find all of the animals she talked about in this room, and I think that's really cool. And clever little detail. Oh. What? I've never seen that cat before. In any playthrough I've seen or any playthrough I've done. That's
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Crazy move.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
But, like, see what I mean? It's so much more built up and cluttered.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Well, on that note, Derpy, Broken, Bob, Burpee, Rob, the snake, Lurpy, Purply, Furpy, Lurpy, who's Derpy Jr.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Okay, maybe this is what she meant by portraits and not that, which is, there's one in Molly's room and there's one in every level, one of these portraits.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum.
I just wanna... Oh. Yeah, you'll also see one of those in every room, except for, obviously, Lewis's later in the game.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
That's such a mean drawing of I'm not even gonna try and look through all those pictures or books, not pictures.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Again, that will come back. It will come back really in a sad way.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
I enjoy those. Molly concepts, I've always been so curious about what that meant. I think that must have meant, I don't know, it might have meant what their rooms would look like, or maybe what
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Yeah.
She could have, but she didn't.
Again, you know, I think it's interesting that Molly drew the future. Not saying she's, like, actually, like, able to tell the future, but, you know.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Oh, Lewis.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Yuck. Horrible.
The only
bathroom.
trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah. Crazy that the frog is still there after what happened with the frog. Reminder, there's a 1-year-old on this door. Yeah. We'll get there when we get there, but yeah, that one's like the biggest trigger warning. It's for like child loss. It's really not great.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh my gosh, spoiler alert.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Oh, is that... Oh, that's Dawn and Sam. Dawn is Edith's mother and Sam is obviously her grandfather. Milton again. Along with alcohol, which I think is interesting. I don't know. Spoiler again, we never find out how Milton went missing or what happened to him, but I feel like all of these things might have something to do with it. this is so sad. This door. Because earlier she mentions how Sam had to share a bedroom with his dead brother. And it's like, something was really wrong with Edie.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Okay, I always make fun of people for not knowing how to play this, so I need to make sure I...
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did.
Okay.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
I'm gonna leave it for a second just so I can talk.
Sam! Calvin!
Or not.
Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But yeah,
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
I'll just say after this. He's going towards the old house. Just saying.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
This
Then
part
maybe
is
he'd
like
still
very
be here.
nauseating. So if
But
you
I
need to
doubt it.
look away. Look away.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly.
Straight
did.
towards the old house. And I think that is important. Because I don't think they'd include it if it wasn't. Because everything in this feels so intentional.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Can I just say, Sam, Uncle Sam, military, that's... I feel like it's purposeful. I think it's a pun. I really hope it's not, but I feel like it's a pun. Okay, so this section is the one section that's like outwardly scary. Like, sorry.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
I'll just undo this so if we need to we can leave and come back. But anyway, yeah, this is the one section that's like outwardly scary and I've been dreading this entire time and why I've not replayed this. And I wish there was a way to fast forward through it.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Oh no. Honey, no. Don't do that. The stuff in here is strange, Labyrinth. Okay. The stuff in here is less, like, subtle, I feel like, in what they represent, but still. This voice is so annoying, by the way. Just a warning.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
I'm not talking because there's no way to pause this.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Note that Walter is holding a train.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
My thing is, how did the comic book know that
She reached for the music box.
if Edith didn't know about the trick about the music box?
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Yeah, they're using the Halloween music, and I hate it. Make you walk slower is cruel.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
and she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
If you look earlier, you notice that that banister is broken earlier in the game, and I think that's another cool detail.
She heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Oh, I hate his laugh. I hate his laugh. I hate his laugh. It's so annoying.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. So, obviously Calvin's death is pretty straightforward. And Molly's death is kind of straightforward if you think about it. Because what she ate was holly berries. Which is, like, very toxic and can cause hallucinations. So, obviously she hallucinated it and probably died from the poisoning, not poisoning. And then Barbara's is it's the only one that I haven't been able to figure out. Like, obviously she was murdered, but by whom? I don't know. I think that's the point. I don't think it's Rick. I think Rick got murdered as well.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Also, Posey, my cat, is still yelling, so sorry about that. See? It's very clever. Also, now is time for the story that I think is the saddest. Well, one of the saddest. Gosh, it's another bug. Hold on. I do not know where it went, but if I start freaking out and grab this, you know, it'll probably cut, but you'll know what happened. And if the video ends here, you'll know what happened as well. It'll be the end of me.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Didn't you know you're supposed to get a tetanus shot every 10 years? Because I didn't.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Actually, I didn't take a proper look around here. Obviously, the little tree trunks that Edie uses to paint the portraits, and then I'm assuming the dragon slide. Oh, I feel like there's bugs crawling on me.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Yeah.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
This is where the game gets very strange. But you know what? Life is strange. Wrong game. Oh, I forgot how dark this part is.
I
Okay.
remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Not. Ugh. This is worse than a studio apartment. Is that mean? No, it's not. It's true. This is so sad. It's so sad. 2005. So how old was Edith? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so Edith was like a proper child. You know. So, there's something else I was gonna say. Oh, I wanted to check when Barbara died. So 1960. October 1960, assumably.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
Well, you can see the age on his
Or
hand.
maybe
Sorry.
I just got tired of being afraid.
Sorry I'm being so quiet. This one makes me really sad. Also, it's very straightforward, to be fair.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
It's just so sad down here.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
I think what bothers me so much about that one is how obviously, like...
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
I don't want to say symbolic, because it is very literally about anxiety and paranoia and depression. But it's like, you finally are willing to live and grow and do things and leave the house and survive, and then it's over and you die. and it makes me really this one gets to me a lot. I think I cried the first time I played this section specifically. I cried at a few parts, but in a weird way this part makes me like kind of upset as well, like angry.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Oh, also, Mole Man. The Mole Man living under the house.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
I love how quickly they start dropping the
I heard the
hints.
stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Gosh, having a train set, but also I think that's the same train set he was playing with in the comic book. Also, the fact that something he loved killed him, like the train, I don't know. And also the fact that you can see the house, the original house. I don't know. Walter makes me really
I don't know
sad.
if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
I think that's the guy from Barbara's story in the sewage drain from Molly's. Also, did you catch on with what the plot twist is?
And the history you're a part of.
Who is she talking to?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
There's like a few hints, but now they're piling it on heavy. They want you to figure it out.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Oh.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
The swing. Calvin swing. Oh gosh. He went flying, because he went over the... I guess it could have been high tide.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh, I never noticed all the lights you can see of the other houses. That's really pretty. Again, very pretty game.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Some of these animals had better runs, like longer lives than the children.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
I could talk about Edie a lot because it's like, oh, she died 2 days after her. That's rough. But the way she obsesses over the curse and death, I don't know. I don't know. I could talk about, I need to watch the whole thing over again before I fully start talking about what everything represents, but I don't know. There's a lot to be said. Oh, she died on her birthday. That's rough. Did I just say that? I feel like I just said that.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
A lot of people really hate Edie, because of how she
could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
How she, frankly, romanticizes the curse a lot. And it's true, but I don't know, she lost all of her kids, and most of her grandkids, and most of her great-grandkids.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
I hate funerals, and I don't know.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Yeah. A lot of it was foreshadowing this. Yeah, it's not super. Yeah, this whole little plot twist kind of thing, but not really plot twist because they're referencing it the entire time.
But I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
But every time that even kids are brought up, like small children specifically, like toddlers and infants, she does have a different tone, which was, I think it's good that it was foreshadowing the entire time and more than just the dialogue.
They were both pretty intense.
Hey, buddy.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
We actually don't see the room from the outside in this, because we never get to pass this room while it's on like the 3rd floor that they added on. remember they said his first wife, Kay. Cats? There's a lot of cats.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dawn, Gus, Gregory, Kay, assumably. The fact that she included the photo of him and Calvin is, I don't know, it's very strange to me. Again, Edie's obsession with death.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Odin Finch National Park. I know she has a funny piece of dialogue. I'm just waiting for that for a second.
Smile, Dawn.
Yeah, I'm not waiting. Never mind.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
No, I didn't mean to. I never find it that quickly. Hold on. Oh. I ruined the dialogue options. I'm just too good at the game.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
I love this minigame. It's weirdly soothing for the topic matter. For the topic.
Dad.
Subject matter.
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
So sad.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
This is the other minigame that took me forever to... Come on.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Yeah. That's a rough one. Not even because of for Sam, but for Dawn. Like, seeing, after losing, I think, both of your brothers, watching your dad die is brutal. Also, I know this is just because they didn't want to make more assets, probably, but the amount of that photo he has all over the place, like, I don't know, I like to pretend it's because he loved his daughter. I think he did in his weird own way.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
I don't know if this was like a Calvin kind of memorial in his own way again, like, or and a Barbara, you know, because Sam was still they're both of their siblings. Okay, when did Gregory died? In 1977. Gus
I can't
died
imagine
in
my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
82. So there's 5 years where they had to sleep next to this child's memorial.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I don't know how you play this one. Okay. There's an achievement if you knock over all of the letters.
That time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
Crazy to close the bathroom
Sam,
door.
I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
I like how... Okay, I think this, I don't know... Okay, I noticed this. This is the only one she doesn't have, like, a quip about afterwards. Not a quip, a comment on. And I think it's because she is pregnant. But... yeah. I think that story does mess up a little bit with how difficult it is, the minigame, and how janky it is. It distracts from how heartbreaking that one is.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea.
Sorry, I'm just diving into
Our
it.
father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
This one is another, like, as the game continues, it kind of gets more and more straightforward how the different characters died. Like, obviously Gregory's is very straightforward, he drowned.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
I love the mechanics for this one. It's very fun. Oh. Flew right by it.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I remember.
I like how they just kind of like melt away, which I feel like is a little bit of a easy cop-out, but I think it works very well either way.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
I feel like as the stories go on, they get sadder and sadder.
The
Like,
wind
not to say
picked
that
up,
the other
and
ones
panicked
aren't,
geese
but...
appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
There we go. Sorry, that was too hard.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
I don't like the fact that it's until we found you. It's a little, like, I know it's very small, but
She
it
never
makes me
talked
very
about
sad.
it, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Because, I mean, I keep saying that Edie has an excuse to be so romanticize death so much, but at the same time, Dawn saw just as much and didn't I don't want to say cause more deaths, because obviously Edie didn't kill anyone, but she perpetuated this mindset in the family. I don't know. 150 jumping jacks is crazy. Also, the mailbox that is like a solid 5 minutes of in-game walking away, that's crazy. Be a baby. Okay. Again, one of the few like funny moments in the game is Greg, be a baby.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Again, that thing that she said about Walter of the one thing that none of them can do is get away.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
You know, the first time I played this game, I didn't care for Dawn. But the more I play it, the more I understand why she is the way she is.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
I feel so bad that the curse also, like, affects...
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Affects those people married in, so it's not even like they're safe from it.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Like, you can't even have the thought of, well, my children might not be safe, but at least my partner is safe, because they're not. So you can't even think, well, we just won't have kids, because it doesn't guarantee that you'll be safe.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
This is definitely a, like, violation. But it looks pretty, so that's fine.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Our family history, fact or fiction. Again, like, on one hand, why would she be teaching this? She wanted to keep it a secret, but also alternatively, it's her teaching that don't believe in the stories that you're being told by your own great-grandmother, which is difficult, but... Lewis rules. Oh. And there's no Milton desk, because Milton's gone.
But it didn't last.
Oh. I think Sanjay died in relief efforts. I think that's the implications. Oh. Yeah, this...
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Crazy to give a 10-year-old this nightmare death trap. Crazy that the one character who, like, was given the death trap room didn't die. Oh wait, I go to look through the peepholes.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Even though I know the way to get into the room. Again, you can see the house so clearly. And he's the one who explored the house the most. Did I walk past the window? I did. So it's how influenced was he by Edie and her stories? it just says newspaper. I was curious if it said anything about a disaster. Okay, I know I just said this is like a violation of every health code, but also I would kill for this. Like, it would be so cool to have like an art studio castle.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Milton's and Barbara's are the two stories that always kind of
Mom
confuse
spent months
me.
searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Because I want to know what happened to him, but also I think it's a great choice that
Whatever
we
Milton
never
had
find
found
out.
in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
They could have taken it in like a really dark turn where you
Mom
find his
definitely
bones.
blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
It makes me so sad because Lewis seems like he was a great brother. Even if people kind of thought less of him to an extent. I don't know. Lewis is the roughest. Him and Walter's stories are the two that make me the saddest, so like trigger warning for suicide. So obviously it's sad.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Great gaming setup. Dual monitors. He's so cool.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Oh, reflection in the mini fridge. Also, 88 versus 99, so there's like an 11-year age gap. Like, I feel like Lewis must have been such a good older brother if he was like so happy to play with his little sister, his 11-year younger sister. I don't know, it makes me sad because some of these characters are like more.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
I don't know. It makes me really sad. He's the one who's, I think, the most morally good. Oh! You'll see these little figurines in his level. And those, and those. That's cool. I never noticed that.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
Okay,
He'd feel his way about.
I know I'm making this look easy, but you are like playing 2 video games at once. So mechanically, this is one of my favorite games in this.
Then something moved. Bats.
I think it's so neat the way that you have to multitask.
And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Sorry, I'm so engrossed by this one. This one, as someone who disassociates and had struggled with maladaptive daydreaming, this one really is very hard to deal with. But I cannot stop. I must persevere because I love this game.
I worried about him then.
And I do think it does a great job.
Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
I want to pause it because this reminds me of something a lot of how the medical industry can kind of fail people with mental health issues. And it reminds me of a scene from Next to Normal, because lately everything's been reminding me of Next to Normal. Where Diana says, essentially, I don't feel like myself, I don't feel anything. And Dr. Fine goes, patient stable. And it reminds me of that a lot, because it's not caring whether Lewis is healthy, it's caring if Lewis appears healthy and if he's useful to society. I probably am reading too much into it, but it's rough. This is a really, really rough part of this game. But yeah, I'll continue. Where was I? Where am I? Who am I? Oh, this way.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
Also, all the little figures
Every day
from
his
his desk.
imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. he held an election for mayor. And he won.
The Mario reference is very funny.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
I mean, you need to with this
It became a game for him.
Oh, this is difficult.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
I think it's so funny.
He started
he's
drifting
very
away
funny.
from our reality.
Like, I know he's a fictional character, but it's just really sad.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Bisexual Louis. I love it.
beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for,
Well, you know,
radiant rainbows.
that was risky. No! No! Oh no. I'm failing at this. It doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. Come on, I have to get one. Okay.
He followed the sound of his
Oh, I only got one. Electric sitar is so much more interesting.
electric sitar.
And so much more Lewis.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
This is... I love how muscle memory
He
it
knew the
becomes.
world was all in his imagination.
Because you feel like Lewis, and that's the most distressing thing. I think that's why this one is so emotional.
But he was so
for
proud
so
of
many
having
people.
created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know.
That jump is really hard. Also, I love the door is still there, so it's not, it's like almost a hallucination, but not quite, and very out of body, I should say.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
really rough.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His prince waited, holding his crown.
This is, I think, the most brutal one.
There was only one thing left to do.
It's both intentional and unintentional, but also the image of Lewis putting his head under a chopping block
Bend down
is
his
so
head.
deeply disturbing.
The rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
I think that's why Walter and Lewis get to me the most. I'll let her talk.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I think that's why Walter and Lewis's get to me so much, is because they wanted to be better and they just couldn't, and that hurts a lot.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
I love that you can still see where you came from and all the little details. That's not, I think I said this earlier, that's not just faded out. You can see the whole story below you.
I wish we'd stayed.
There's so many posters. Sound design.
But I understand why we left.
I feel like as the game continues, I have less to say because I'm just like really sad.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Yeah, he must have died in the oh. I think he must have died in the disaster they mentioned.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
You know, I've never looked that carefully throughout her room, and I'm curious what... The Odyssey, Mummification, Macbeth, Tales from Beyond. All to do with ghosts and death. These little figurines look like the thing Lewis had, and the frog from... and the shark, the frog from Gregory's and the shark from Molly's. I'm willing to bet that you'd be able to find something from every single one of the other characters in this room. if you look long enough. Octopus from Molly's room. Again, I wonder what is them reusing assets and which is like actually new. Oh, Spaceman for Calvin. I mean, it's hard to say. Oh, I have to do stuff. I can't just watch it like a movie.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
I do feel bad.
Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Something I just noticed, I think I must have noticed this beforehand, but her gloves at this point are so...
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Are so bright and colorful.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
I need to stop walking while talking, because dialogue will come up. Something about her gloves are that they're faded, which I think means that she's been wearing the same ones for 7 years. I'm very curious about what that's about. Like, what the gloves symbolize, because they're so specific and
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Not unnecessary, but, like, it's not a super... Okay. It's not, like, a super relevant detail. Like, it's not necessary to include, but they did multiple times.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
I think this might be why Edie has a bit of an obsession with Edith.
Last time I ever saw the old house aground, there'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Even if you walk straight, you get turned around, quote unquote.
I got turned around.
Yeah, emphasis on quote. And you just kind of...
I started seeing things.
I don't know. I think this is all very...
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain. but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. And
Yeah, that's where it ends.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Like, you never get to
Next
find out
morning,
what
the
she was
van
gonna
came to
write.
pick her up, but she was already gone.
And you never get to talk to her again, obviously.
After that, we moved around a lot.
I think that's the most frustrating, one of the most frustrating things in the game, is that you never know what she was going to say.
We both tried to make the best of it.
But I think it was for the best. Like, honestly, that we don't know what happened for sure, because Edith doesn't know what happened for sure.
A few years went by.
It makes it less fantastical, because there very well might be a perfectly logical explanation for all of it.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
I'll let this last line play before I give my spiel. Okay.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
I think this is one of the few times where they were dead the whole time actually got me. Even though from the very get-go we know that it's not Edith on the boat. It's someone else reading her journal. So by all means we should have known that she died at the end, because she is doing her son did exactly what she did of reading her journal like she read Molly's journal or anyone else's journal. And I think that's really cleverly done. And I love this game a lot. I think it deals with like mental health and generational stuff very well. And I think it's beautiful, like narratively and visually. I just love this game a lot, and I'll let the credits roll out just because I don't know, I think it's earned, but this is easily one of my favorite games. Even though it's not super technically hard, there's a few, the only hard parts are when the game is a little janky, not actually like difficult, but it's fine. Sometimes that happens. I really love this game. I keep saying that, and it's probably because it's midnight and I don't have many brain cells left. But there's a lot to be said about Edie, and whether or not I think it's safe to say that she did impact the lives of her family with her obsession about the curse. Because it's important to remember that the curse didn't start with her dad. It was already an established curse that she had been born into. So it easily could have, in a way, Edith could have continued the cycle, because she still wrote about all of this and romanticized, in a way, the death to her son. But also, who knows if it's something to do with the house, because there are elements, like the bricks from the old house went into the new house, so there are still things from the old house and the new house the old house that was cursed. So maybe her son leaving the house. I like to believe that her son had a happy ending. I don't know if I believe it, but I like to imagine. But I think that's all I have to say.